This dude didn't put the key in the car because initially he played the car something was wrong with it before he finally admitted that the car had been wrecked 2 days ago. However, that story when it was all twisted up. Alright, here we go. First started, I had never in my life had a new car. In a little background, I had no idea that this is gonna turn out into what it is now. But yeah, y'all cousins. All right, quick little video. Come this way. Since the last video I made, I've had 2 cars total. This right here would be one of them. Story goes on this one. I was just looking through the messages. Guy, it was a cheap car. I tell anybody that rents a cheap car, if you're gonna extend it as soon as you think you need it because they rent out very fast. Not much time to play around. So this particular guy played around. He was doing DoorDash or something, and he goes always to the last second. Well, anyway, somebody rented the car, booked it for the next day. He comes. When I tell him, he's like, they coming at 8:30 in the morning or something. I'm like, yeah, so he got out of the car back by 7:30. So he plays around. That day, instead of going till 7:30, he started extending about a couple of hours at a time during the day. So finally at 11:30, he stopped extending. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, I'm at work. I don't get off till such and such time. Then finally, like 3, 4 in the morning, I'm like, well, what's going on? Because I hadn't heard from him. Now the story is he went blank until about 7. Called back, oh yeah, the car was in an accident 2 days ago. Then he was in the hospital that night and blah blah blah. Whole story change. Went from being in the hospital, being at work to being in the hospital. So anyway, the car I had to cancel the next person's trip. I had the car towed where we are now. This dude didn't put the key in the car because initially he played the car something was wrong with it before he finally admitted that the car had been wrecked 2 days ago. However, that story when it was all twisted up. So I don't know if you can see here, but it's long lines up and down this hood. From what he said to me, he slid into a gate. And I guess the chain link fence went up under the car went under the chain link fence and scraped it all up. And then you can see here where the fender is all kicked in, etc., etc. I didn't think that it was that bad. The car's like a 2010, low miles on it. But the insurance company actually ended up totaling the car out. And the guy, this has been weeks ago, guy still never gave me the keys, never sent the keys, a whole bunch of crazy stories about the keys. And I actually sent the title in today to the insurance company. So we're waiting for them to come pick it up from this long twisted story of the guy who was at work and in the hospital at the same time, etc., etc. So yeah, y'all cousins. Peace. Alright, the second total car I didn't tell the story on, it was real simple and basic. Guy said he was on Wyoming, riding down the streets to Grand River. He said somebody ran a light, hit him in the back, and he spent out and hit a pole. So when he called me, he sent me a message and said that the car was totaled and he was in the hospital. And I was like, oh, here we go. But actually, he told me what police station did the report and all that. And when he got out of the hospital, he called me. And once he told me that somebody hit the car and they hit a pole, and because the message he said was total, I figured, yeah, you probably knew what you're talking about on that one. It's probably total. So took me about a week to get the car. The fine officers of the Detroit Police Department gave me the runaround forever. I went back and forth to the station more than once. They all couldn't tell me anything. It wasn't their job. It was somebody else's job. Called there. They couldn't tell me anything. So I finally went down to one of the main buildings on the West Grand Boulevard. They give me the information, and I tell them what happened. And the lady behind the desk gives me a pamphlet to file a complaint for the first department because they should have told me all the information I needed. I don't have the time or energy to be involved in all that, so I just sat that to the side on my desk. And yeah, y'all cousins in the police department too.